Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. The podcast, the flock rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
Appreciate you, Ray. What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Minicamp has officially started. We just finished day one today, so I wanted to recap how day one went, a couple highlights, who was there, who wasn't there, what happened. So let's dive into who was not there. We got Keaton Mitchell, obvious reasons. We're not really expecting him to be practicing anytime soon, and John Harbaugh said that he probably won't even come back until maybe around mid-season of the regular season, so not a surprise there. Kyle Hamilton was also still out. He's been missing the end of OTAs a little bit and is now missing minicamp, but Harbaugh spoke on that and said he had an elbow procedure and it should be just a 2 to 3 week thing. They just went into his elbow and cleaned up a couple things, so it's not a big deal. Nothing lower body. He was at minicamp. He was just in workout clothes. Another player that was also at minicamp in workout clothes was Adisa Isaac, who's also dealing with something, but nothing major going on. And Hardy, our wide receiver slash kick returner that we just signed, is still out because he just had a kid and they are still at the hospital, I guess. So he's dealing with that and he's with family. But other than that, no key absences, no key injuries. Everyone showed up for day one of minicamp. And I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped to see the squad out there. Marlon Humphrey returned to practice today. I think he's in for a big season. We're finally getting him healthy. Hopefully he stays healthy. But last year was an injury battle for sure. We haven't really missed Marlo like that throughout the season, just in and out, in and out. So hopefully we get a full healthy season with Marlon Humphrey, Nate Wiggins, obviously, Brandon Stevens, and then a ton of corner depth. You know, you still got Pepe Williams, Jalen Armour-Davis, TJ Tampa, Arthur Mollett. Arthur Mollett had a big day today, had an interception. I think he forced a fumble on Zay Flowers, if I'm not mistaken. So he's making big plays. Just so much depth in this secondary. I think that it's underrated. I think our cornerback room is really underrated and is going to be very strong. Competition, more importantly, is going to be very strong. When you have this much depth, it makes everyone better. It'll be interesting to see who comes out on top. Obviously, Marlon Humphrey, Brandon Stevens are going to have solidified roles. I think Nate Wiggins is pretty safe to have some type of important role. I don't know if he'll be out there, every play, but I think that he'll develop into carving out a key role, and that role will just continue to grow throughout this season. And then as years to come, he's definitely going to be a starting outside corner for us for the next 5 years, I would imagine. So I'm pumped for that. Everything I hear from Nate Wiggins is incredible. Speed, quickness, mentality, confidence. It's not a big deal, but the defense did have a great day today. I think a lot of those vets coming back together, we get to see how deep this defense really is and how talented this defense is. Now, I do expect them to take a small step back from last year's production, but that doesn't mean that we're going to be a bad defense. We won the Triple Crown last year, and that's never been done in history, so I don't think that this defense is going to beat that defense in production, but I definitely think that we're going to be a top 5 defense. Roquan Smith's obviously out there with Trenton Simpson. I think that that's a super interesting thing to watch, is how Trenton Simpson's going to replace Patrick Queen. Roquan had nothing but positive things to say about Trenton Simpson and is super high on him coming into this season.
I think he's going to surprise a lot of people, man. He's still learning for sure, but I just think the way he don't make the same mistakes over and over every day. He learned from his mistakes, and I think that's crucial when you're young, being able not to make the same mistakes twice. And I don't think I know he don't understand how fast, how explosive, and how powerful he is. But once he actually understand that, which I think will be very soon, watch out.
I think Trenton Simpson's a dog. Just watching his tape from college, watching his short tape that he's put on in the NFL, that Steelers game last year, he was flying around everywhere, and that was against their starters. So it's not like he hasn't played some professional ball and got some tape out there. I know what Trenton Simpson can do, and I think with Roquan being that coach next to him, I think that he will get up to speed a lot faster than it might take other players who might come in and be the starting linebacker or something, or maybe like Patrick Queen when he first came to Baltimore. He was our middle linebacker. He was the guy, and he wasn't really thriving there. I think that Trenton Simpson doesn't have any of that pressure at all. Roquan's got that pressure, and obviously he already lives up to that. So I think Trenton Simpson's just going to come in there and let loose, fly around, hit people, and I'm excited for that duo. I think that duo is going to just continue to grow throughout this season and for years to come. We'll flip to the offense side of the ball. It wasn't all defense. Derrick Henry was out there. We've seen Derrick Henry in a Ravens uniform out there a few times, but every single time, man, I can't help but think of how big of a year he's about to have. I really believe that. I think he's going for over 1,000 yards. I think that we're going to be able to really control games. If we get up 2-possession, 3-possession lead, we can run the clock out. That saves our defense, keeps our defense on the sideline while our offense is out there just grinding away, and it kills the time of possession for the other team, which essentially eliminates your chance at a comeback. So I really think that adding Derrick Henry to already the top rushing team in the league is just nothing but a recipe for success. And Lamar Jackson next to Derrick Henry is going to be exciting.
The culture is just like I expected. They work hard. There's togetherness, a brotherhood. Everybody pushes each other on all sides of the ball. And it's been fun learning, getting to know everybody, but just trying to do my job as well.
And Derrick Henry seems motivated. He seems happy and comfortable to be here, and I just think he's primed for a huge year, man. I think he's going to have a lot of goal line touchdowns. I think he's going to just crack 1,000 yards or so, and is going to be a force for us this year and is really going to help us control that game and just open up an unlimited amount of options for this offense. Todd Monken's got to be licking his chops. He's got a really talented group of players with Lamar and Derrick Henry and Flowers and Bateman and Mark and Isaiah Likely and a talented offensive line. I think the sky's the limit. I think this team is ready to win. And that Derrick Henry signing this offseason just makes me that much more confident of how much we are ready to win. I don't care if we go 13-3 and, get the 1 seed or not, but just make the playoffs, stay healthy, and we're gonna have a chance at a Lombardi. And I touched on the offensive line, but Ronnie Stanley spoke today, and he said that he feels as good as he's ever felt. He feels as strong and as quick as he's ever felt. And one thing that really stuck out is that he wanted to redo the contract and stay in Baltimore because he didn't want to leave on the note of last year of being, that injured player who's inconsistent and has an up and down games. And he wants to leave, if he's going to leave, he wants to leave as Ronnie Stanley and give us a Ronnie Stanley season that we're used to. And I respect the hell out of that. I really appreciate him being that transparent and telling us that. That's why I stayed. That's why I reworked the contract, because this team gave me a chance, drafted me. These fans, they need to see Pro Bowl 2019 Ronnie Stanley, healthy Ronnie Stanley. And I really believe he's in that form right now. Now, obviously, we don't know if that's going to last all year, praying that it does. But right now, he looks as good as ever. He's as confident as ever. And I think he feels better than ever, more importantly.
I feel great. I feel like I'm as, strong and as quick and as athletic as I've ever been. So, I'm ready to put that all on the field.
When he feels good and he's confident and he can, get back to what he does, I really feel like he's going to be one of the best left tackles in the league, which would be massive for our offensive line. If Ronnie Stanley can return to, a Pro Bowl level, that's just so big. That really solidifies Lamar's blind side and I think makes the rest of the line step up and play better too. And Ronnie's just got a huge year ahead of him. Not only can he earn back a lot of that money that he restructured in that contract, but also moving forward, whether he is in Baltimore or not, he can continue to get contracts if he can get back to that level that he was playing at. So excited for Ronnie, excited for us. I think that's amazing news. I've heard nothing bad coming out of minicamp. It is just day one of minicamp. We're not moving mountains here, but it's exciting to get some mandatory practice where all the vets are back in a mixture with the young guys, and we kind of get to see which side of the ball is shining, who's struggling, whatever. It's just, it's cool to see it. I'm glad that football is kind of back. We still got a while, but this is as good as it gets for now. So appreciate you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. As always, have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim there where the sense can't tame the untamed.